All right, what's going on, folks? Thanks for tuning in. This is Clayton representing AndroidAuthority.com, your #1 site for all things Android. Today we've got a review of the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now, as you can see, we've got the Pebble Blue version, and this is also the T-Mobile variant of the Galaxy S3. You can see there we've got our carrier branding. So before we get into the software and all the other great features of the Samsung Galaxy S3, let's just give the body a quick overlook. As you see here on the left, we've got our volume rocker. We can go up and down. On our back here, we have our LED, we've got our camera, and then our speaker. Here's our power button. And on top, we've got our headphone jack and our little area that we can pop the back off. On bottom, we've got our micro SD as well as a little mic. Now, I'll just peel the back off to show you what it looks like in there. Now, there are some questions whether or not the back might lose its finish with continuous bending, but as you can see there, it's not really causing any damage. This is a pretty strong backing here, so it's not going to peel off. Anyways, we've got our SIM card slot, our expandable storage, and then our battery here capable of NFC. We've got our near field communication. We'll pop the back on very quickly. Really nice. The back goes on and off in just an instant. Anyways, we've got our front-facing camera right here, which is 1.9 megapixels. Our rear-facing camera is 8 megapixels. We've got our physical home button here, and then you almost can't even notice where a place for the capacitive haptic buttons are down here, but when we turn them on, you can in fact see them. Samsung's done a really great job of hiding the buttons within the Pebble Blue finish. But anyways, we turn that on. We've got our lock screen. The same lock screen as all of the Galaxy S3s. There's not going to be much difference in the T-Mobile variant or the Sprint or Verizon's or even the international version. Now, as we move through our home screen, we can see we have a lot of preloaded widgets. There's not actually too much bloatware. Pretty much all of it is located right here. We've got our visual voicemail, T-Mobile mobile hotspot, Access T-Mobile, the Amazon App Store. Got some bonus apps, some nice widgets included, but we're just going to walk through the basic features of this phone. Anyways, we pull down the notification bar. We have all of our different toggles, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, screen rotation, airplane mode, sync. We've got our notifications here. We can actually go into our settings where we have our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth data usage. Under more settings is where we can actually enable our NFC and our Android Beam. We can also enable the S-Beam. And we have some cool settings there. Now going back, we have our sound settings. Now we can choose our device ringtone, device vibration, the key tones. Choose if there's touch sounds. We can play the screen lock sound, and we can also enable and disable haptic feedback, which I'm a fan of. Anyways, we've got our motion settings, our LED indicator settings. Our LED indicator is located on the top left, and it flashes a nice little light whenever we have a notification. We have our power saving mode. We can go to our battery options, see what's been draining the battery. As you see here, on cell standby, the phone has lasted for 2 days, 1 hour, and 48 minutes, and is 49% in discharging. And actually see how long each individual thing has been going when we click the battery. Anyways, we have our accounts and sync options. We have our location services, and then we have our developer options that are native with the Android Ice Cream Sandwich operating system. Now when we go to the About device, we see here we're running Android 4.0.4. We've got our stock kernel, and this is running the TouchWiz 4 overlay over the Android Ice Cream Sandwich operating system. Now within our developer options, we can choose to enable USB debugging. We can show touches. We've got our nice little cursor there. We can force GPU rendering, which is the use of 2D hardware acceleration in applications. As you see here, we have all of our preloaded apps on here. I haven't downloaded any really. And we have infinite scrolling where we can just go all the way through. We also have our widgets. And under the widgets, there's a lot of cool clocks. We've got our S Planner. We've got our email, Gmail, Google+. We can choose our audio settings right from there. We've got our S Suggest, which suggests apps. We've got our s-memo. And this has infinite scrolling as well. You can watch on the bottom as it goes through and back again. Anyways, how you would add one of these to the home screen, you just grab it and you can bring it over. And you can add it to the screen of your choice. Or you can also create a folder, create a page, get the app info, or delete it. Now when you bring delete, it also uninstalls apps. Now anyways, we will just click that. That's fine. We'll cancel that widget. Anyways, a lot of the cool customizations we'll go through here. Go to the settings menu. So under our lock screen options, we can show an information ticker, which is really awesome. We have camera quick access we can enable. We can show our clock, including the dual clock, and we can actually turn our weather on. A lot of cool other security features. We have our face unlock. We can also use a pattern or a pin, and a lot of other ones. There's some cool stuff. Now, in conjunction with the face unlock, our front-facing camera actually has the Smart Stay feature, where the phone can actually track the movement of your eyes and shut the screen off if you are not directly looking at it. We can also change the font style and the font size, and we can access the brightness from here. There is no master brightness. We can access our settings here. We can create a folder easily like this, and we can edit the home screen just like that. We can also access that by simply pinching, and we get all of our home screens. We can choose which one is our default home screen. So anyways, we'll just go into the camera and test it out. We've got a lot of cool camera options. Without a burst shot on, we can just simply click, and it does have very, very fast picture taking abilities. Now if we access our settings, we can have a self-portrait. We can turn our flash on and off. Under our shooting mode, we have the option of single shot, burst shot, HDR, smile, beauty, panorama, cartoon, and we can also use our share shot, which instantly uploads it via Wi-Fi. We can go to our scenes here. We have a bunch of different scenes, our exposure values. We have our focus mode where we can choose autofocus, macro, or face detection. We can choose our resolution or white balance, ISO. We can enable anti-shake. We have auto contrast, GPS tagging. We can choose our image quality, super fine, fine, or normal. Okay, so anyways, the video capabilities are very awesome. The 8 megapixel camera is great. And then we also have our front-facing camera, which works very, very fine as well. Anyways, we go back. Long pressing the home button can actually allow us to remove our applications and also access the task manager. Now, when accessing the task manager, we can free up our memory, view which applications are active, clear memory just like that. We have got a lot of memory. This model has 2 gigabytes of RAM and a Snapdragon S4 dual-core processor at 1.5 gigahertz. So we'll just run a quadrant standard benchmark on this phone, just to give you an idea of how fast it is. Our 2 gigabytes of RAM are really going to help the speed out. Okay, so our device ended up scoring a 4,838 score, which is very, very high. The CPU scored 7,761, and the memory scored extremely high. As you can see, the memory is represented by the red bar, and it has a lot more memory than any of these other phones. The 2 gigabytes of RAM actually helps this phone out immensely. Now anyways, we'll go back and we'll go over some of the more intuitive features of the Galaxy S3, starting with our S voice. Navigate to Burger King. And it brings up navigation. We can actually do that. I'm just going to go ahead and go back. Search the web for Samsung Galaxy S3 T-Mobile version.
Web search Samsung Galaxy S3 T-Mobile version.
There we go. We have our voice confirmation from the little assistant, and we successfully went to our web search of the Galaxy S3 T-Mobile version. Now anyways, our web browser is very intuitive. It comes with Google Labs as well as our tabbed browsing just like that. We have our incognito mode here, and we can scroll through our tabs just like this. Remove them simply by tapping the minus button there. We have our web options here. We have to choose our individual brightness right here actually. We can access our downloads there. Remind me to wake up at 9:30 on June 30th.
Okay, should I save this alarm set for 9:30 p.m.?
There we go. And basically it's just a really, really intuitive feature. The S voice is very awesome. It just worked perfectly right there. I was able to set the alarm, navigate, search the web. Anyways, we've also got our s-memo, which is a nice memo application. You can simply draw, or you can also use your gestures and whatnot. Anyways, guys, if you've got any more questions, I just want you to post them in the comments section. We'll be sure to keep up with them. And that was our review for the T-Mobile version of the Samsung Galaxy S3 in Pebble Blue. If you guys like it and you've got T-Mobile in your area, I'd suggest picking her up. It's fast, it's easy to use, it's intuitive, and it has the greatest features available today. Anyways, you guys, stay tuned with AndroidAuthority.com. We got plenty more where this came from.